Russell, I, like you, was trained in the sciences, but I, unlike you, have wrestled my entire life with the existence of God. So I am fascinated why you, as a high energy physicist, have a strong conviction in the existence of God. How then do you explain the cosmos?
I think first of all I should make it clear that I don't adopt a religious point of view as a result of looking at the world. It's not a question of looking at the world for evidence of God's existence out there. I am religious because I have a personal relationship with God. I am never alone. Nobody might be with me, no human beings, but I am never alone, and I have this deep sense of the presence of God, and that is why I am religious. But then having said that, okay, as a scientist, I do have to say, well, how does this conviction that there is a God, how does it dovetail in with what I see, okay? And when I look at the world, well, first of all, I see that there is a world. Something exists. Now, if nothing existed, would that require explanation? The answer is no. Why should something exist? As soon as something exists, a world exists, then it's a big question. Why does it exist? What is keeping it in existence? Why is it this world rather than some other? All sorts of questions come up. And so intellectually I then say, okay, well, what is the ground of all being? And that is God. And as such, it's a very different sort of mindset to what most people have. As you probably know, our current view of the universe is that it started with a Big Bang. And many people think of God as being the cause of the Big Bang. That doesn't work, because we think of the Big Bang as being the beginning of time, and a cause would have to happen before the effect, which would be the Big Bang.
So your God did not cause the Big Bang?
No, there wasn't a cause of the Big Bang. The whole question, what caused the Big Bang, is a non-question. It's meaningless. God comes into the picture as being the ground of all being. His creativity is part of all instants of time, not just the first instant of the Big Bang. That's why theologians talk about God the sustainer as well as God the creator. So that's how I see God coming into it.
Your argument that the question of what caused the Big Bang is a meaningless one is a very legitimate question that many analytical philosophers and others have pointed to as a reason for eliminating the totality of the need for God. Because if you don't have a cause of the Big Bang, or there's a self-causation or something there, then God is unnecessary.
It certainly gets rid of a naive understanding of God, namely that God existed on his own for eternity and then at some point in time decided to create a Big Bang and we're on our way. Yes, it gets rid of that kind of God, but that is an Aunt Sally. You're just putting up an Aunt Sally and knocking it down. It's got nothing to do with modern theology. So how then do I, as a religious believer, explain the cosmos? I would say that I differ somewhat from my fellow scientists. Fellow scientists seem to simply accept the world as a given. Their job is just simply to explain it. And certainly as a scientist myself, my job is to explain the world that's there. But for me, the world is not a given. There's a reason behind it, and that reason is God. God is the underlying ground of all being. I am part of that cosmos, so I owe my existence to God, and therefore I have to find out what purpose God had for creating the world and for creating me. So I have, if you like, a somewhat different perspective where God and the world are very much intertwined with each other.